Hi, everybody. Welcome to the latest episode of the SCU Show. I'm your host, SCU. I know it's been a very long time since I did a show, and I say this all the time, but I feel like this time we're back. We'll do shows every week. We'll see how it goes. We're doing video. It'll be a few more months while I get things settled, get my money straight, and all this other stuff. But we will do video eventually, and I can't wait for it. It's gonna be so exciting. I'm so excited to do video with the real microphone. Have all these different things going on for me. It's gonna be very exciting. And I hope you stay tuned for it. But let's start with this. It's April. NFL Draft Month. The best month of the year. That's football related. It's outside of the season. Best month of football in the off season. Let's put it that way. And the NFL Draft this year, there's a lot of players this year in the NFL Draft that have so much talent. There's a lot of talent in the NFL Draft. Whole bunch. I love all these quarterbacks coming out. You have Baker Mayfield, Josh Rosen, Sam Darnold, USC. He could do something well if he can stop turning the ball over. I like Lamar Jackson. I really think he's going to do well. I don't know about Michael Vick 2.0 like Danny Cannell said, but I like him. I like what he did, and I can't wait to see what he does. But there is one quarterback I think is most overrated. I really think he's absolutely overrated in this draft. And you're going to think I'm crazy for saying this, but I think it makes sense for him to go number 1 overall. And that is Josh Allen. The only quarterback I did not mention yet. But I made my point with quarterbacks that have talent. And if I'm so... You're asking yourself, you're listening to this and you're like, why? If you think Josh Allen is so overrated, why do you want him going number 1 overall? Well, look at it this way. Josh Allen is overrated, first of all. Let's start there. Against Power 5 teams, he's never won. 0-5, I believe his record was against Power 5 teams. And his stats plummeted. In 2017 against Power 5 teams, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, 1 touchdown to 8 interceptions against Power 5 teams. Yikes. His completion percentage, which actually does matter, for those that say it doesn't, completion percentage matters about 50 to 60% if I remember correctly. Terrible. Just absolutely terrible. I was not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of those numbers. But it makes sense for him to go to Cleveland because that's where, the Browns are set for failure right now. It's only April, and they're set for failure next season. Maybe not 0-16. But, even after last year's draft, I said, the Browns are ready to take second place in the AFC North. And I was disappointed. I was very disappointed in what I saw with what they did. And I didn't like it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? What is going on? Why would they do this? Why is this happening? Because I guess there's really no answer to that. But there's also no answer to them this year either. So why not just go ahead and Josh Allen? It makes sense for a dumpster fire franchise. It makes sense for them to draft the guy who's very overrated, because they're overrated. It's not like anyone's hyping them or anything, but, you get my point here. It makes sense. He's a crap quarterback, they're a crap franchise, it's a match made in heaven. If he goes number 1, I'm going to say this now, and I believe he does. He doesn't even see a snap in the NFL. He will not play in the NFL ever. Preseason, sure, that does not count, though. He'll never play a regular season snap in the NFL. The Browns have their guy, according to Hugh Jackson, Tyrod Taylor. Now the transition was they were going to go Sam Darnold. Now they've gone ahead. They said, they're looking at Josh Allen. And as of right now, he's expected to go number 1 overall. Okay, that's fine. And it makes sense. But he's never going to see a snap in the NFL. Josh Allen will not see a snap at all. Put that in your record books. Remember this when you listen to this podcast and you look back. You look forward to the NFL season. Josh Allen does not start a snap unless Tyrod Taylor gets injured. I don't see that happening. Another quarterback that I'm a big fan of. I'm a big fan of this quarterback, and I don't think he's overrated at all. Josh Rosen. Leadership. Big word. When it comes to being successful in anything, you want to be a leader. Josh Rosen is a leader. The whole hot tub thing doesn't show he's smart, but he's a leader. And he's going to sit and... So I would love him going number 2 to the Giants. Eli Manning he's getting old. And he's not Tom Brady. He's not going to play until he's 45 years old, like Brady will. Eli Manning could be done next year. They could be done the year after. I don't think he plays 3 years from now. I think he's done. This is their next guy in line. Josh Rosen is the next man in line. I love what he does. He's a great quarterback, very talented, as you saw from UCLA. Born leader. Doesn't make too many mistakes. Really good. And I would love for him to start. He's not going to start the season. He'll be on the bench about all season long. But I think it comes a point. Either when the Giants are in the playoffs, their seeding is set, their opponent is set for the playoffs, or their season is over and it's time to look forward. They start Josh Rosen week 16, week 17. Either one. And I would absolutely love for him to light it up for the Giants that week, because I feel like he can do it. I feel he is very talented. And he is their guy. I feel like, the Giants, they haven't really been looking for their franchise quarterback. But really, they should have been looking for their franchise quarterback. Because Eli Manning, he's getting to that point where it's almost over for him. It is literally almost over for Eli Manning. Like 2 more years, 1 more year, even this could be the year where Eli Manning is done. This is it. Eli Manning's his career is over. He's going to retire after the 2018-2019 season. Nobody knows yet. But this could be it for them. And the Giants, the franchise, under new GM, new head coach, and all this other stuff, they need to look forward. They need to think, okay, Manning's about to retire. What do we do next? You go out to the end of 2018 NFL draft, and you get your guy. Go get Josh Rosen. Don't mess this up, Giants. Do not mess this up. Because if you mess this up, who knows when the next guy will come in line will come. You will never know. And let's stick with the Giants. We're done with the Giants draft talking now. Let's stick to the Giants, though, because there's other things going on that I've missed the past... Look, hell, it's been several weeks since I've done a show. Now, a lot of things have gone on with the Giants. Odell Beckham Jr. There have been reports that the Giants were looking to trade the 3-time Pro Bowler wide receiver. Why? Because he's a distraction? But he's talented. He is, again... You want successful people in your business. You want talented people in your business. They make things run smoothly. When those guys are not there, things don't run smoothly. And if the Giants were to get rid of Odell Beckham Jr., nothing would run smoothly. It would be things would go back to the way they were before Odell Beckham Jr. Between the Amani Toomer, Plexico Burress era, and and now. It would go back to that. And it would not be a good look for them. Their star receiver would be Sterling Shepard. And I'm not knocking Sterling Shepard. He's talented. He has talent. No doubt about that. But he is no Odell Beckham Jr. and he never will be. He's not going to make that amazing catch. He's not going to score a touchdown every game of the season, like Odell Beckham has the talent to do. He's not going to do it. Not going to happen. And Brandon Marshall went to the Jets. Like he played one season in 4 or 5 games with the Giants, and that'd be it. That was it. And let's say the Giants did go ahead and trade Beckham, who would their next top guy be? After Shepard, it would be their tight end, Evan Ingram. And good Lord, if you are going to have your tight end as one of your top targets, you're going to have a very hard time getting the ball down the field as a quarterback. Especially a quarterback like Eli Manning, who makes mistakes. And that's with Odell Beckham Jr. Without Odell Beckham Jr., just imagine how many more mistakes he would make. Just imagine. Like that number would, I wouldn't say it would double, but it'd go up a pretty drastic amount. So if the Giants are smart, They draft Josh Rosen. I mean, they don't get rid of Odell Beckham Jr. It would make sense for both things to happen. If one of those things did not happen, it'd be a long season for Giants fans, and who knows what their future holds. If Eli Manning retires and there's no top quarterback in the draft, like we had 5 guys in the draft this year. Like that's a lot of quarterbacks. These guys are going, they're like a 3 in the top 3 type of deal. This is what mock draft experts are saying, that they could go 3 quarterbacks in the top 3. The Browns, Giants, and Jets. You're not going to see that next year. So take the opportunity while you have it. If you're the Giants, go get Josh Rosen. And if it doesn't work out, you tried. That's all you can really say about that. Sticking with the draft now, we're going to move on from the Giants and 6 of the draft here. And we're going to go to the 5th overall pick. I'm going to go right to the 5th. What the Jets do, I don't know. I think they'll be okay regardless. What the Browns do, I think they'll get Saquon Barkley to go along with Josh Allen. Improve the run game, big whoop. Passing game was the most important thing on an offense. Running game sets up the pass, but if the pass don't work, what's the point of the run game, right? So let's go to number 5. You go to Denver. And I cannot stress this enough. Like, the Giants will be fine for a year with Eli Manning. They'll do fine. They would be okay. Denver, if they don't go get a quarterback, they're not okay. And that has to be their top priority, or it's bust. And there's only one guy that I really think should be headed to the Mile High City at number 5, and that's Baker Mayfield. Huge fan of Baker Mayfield. Absolutely huge fan of Baker Mayfield. Had a monster game against Georgia when they lost in overtime to a second-grade running back in Sonny Michael. And had an outstanding senior season. Oh, but he hit a woman. He did bad things off the field. Oh, my God. You can't draft him. So that's stupid. That's ridiculous to say something like that. Like, of course, hitting a woman is not excusable at all whatsoever. But if I'm an NFL GM, I'm not looking at, this guy, he hit a girl. He can't lead my NFL team. Just hear that. You hear the sounds? He can't lead my NFL team because he hit a woman. What? What sense does that make? What matters as an NFL GM is this guy's going to help my team win football games and hopefully win me championships. And that's all I care about with my quarterback. Baker Mayfield, I feel, is the answer for Denver at 5. I mean, they got Case Keenum. Did you see what he did last year? Yeah, he did great. Awesome. They fell one game short of the Super Bowl. But that was because Pat Shurmur is a quarterback whisperer. He is the one that led Nick Foles to a 27-touchdown, 2-interception season in 2013. Keenum's no longer with Pat Shurmur. Now I don't even know who the Broncos offense coordinator is. But you see how they did last year with Trevor Siemian. Terrible. Like, Case Keenum, you've seen Case Keenum his first couple seasons in the NFL after Houston. Terrible. He's not an NFL quarterback. Congratulations, he had one good season. So, he is not. If he starts in Denver, they're going to see the same thing they've been seeing. Possibly worse. I mean, you have to go with Mayfield. He's young. He's talented. He's versatile. Big thing. With my quarterbacks, they have to be versatile. My quarterbacks if my quarterbacks are not versatile, that's fine. Like Brady's not versatile. But it's huge key. It helps so much on offense if my quarterback is versatile. He can run the ball, and if he can't find it, he can pass the ball, and if he can't find anybody, he can run the ball. And that's what I want my quarterback. That's what I think John Elway should see in Baker Mayfield. Is that my guy can do both things. He can run the ball, he can pass the ball. And he's good at both of them. And he should go number 5. He should go Baker Mayfield number 5, make it one of the most interesting quarterback competitions in camp. That would be very interesting to see. And if, like I said, the Broncos should go. Definitely, that's it. Like, there's no other answer besides Baker Mayfield for Denver. I don't see another answer there. I don't. I really think that Baker Mayfield is the answer for Denver if they want to compete with John Gruden and the Raiders. With the Chargers, who went from 0-4 to 6-10. They should keep going. They should go for it. I mean, John Elway's been there. He's been through tough times, like Baker Mayfield's going through tough times. So John Elway, you draft Mayfield, you help him grow. Help him mature. All this other stuff. Help him. Make him an NFL quarterback. He is an NFL-ready quarterback. Make him your guy. So I wanted to bring Scott Rogust on, New York Giants beat writer for DoubleGSports.com to talk about the Giants. And Scott, you've been following the Giants for some time. And I don't know if you feel the same way I do, but Eli Manning, he's getting old. He's not going to be like Tom Brady where he plays till he's 45 years old. So I feel like this is the year the Giants definitely need to go quarterback at number 2. What are your opinion on that?
At first, I was a skeptic on the quarterback class. I was a firm believer, go get the best player available. But the more I'm thinking of it, especially with the uncertainty with Davis Webb, he looked good in practice, but we don't know how he looks on the field, which was a mistake from Giants last season.
Oh, yeah.
So, but now I'm going to kind of switch to the Browns because now, originally, remember, Sam Darnold was linked to the Browns.
Right.
Now, Wyoming quarterback Josh Allen is heavily linked there. And Jordan Renan of ESPN said that the Giants have Sam Darnold ranked high above everyone else in the quarterback class. If he's available, the Giants should go get him. You know, if he's falls to you at number 2, that makes sense.
So you think the Giants should go Sam Darnold or Josh Rosen?
Yeah, he is. I know he's got the turnover issues. It's something that he could work with, you know, with like Eli on the bench, you know, sitting behind Eli for maybe a year. Rosen is good. I just don't know if we don't know with this Giants organization what they want to do, what Gettleman thinks of him. He's very tight-lipped. Pat Shurmur is very tight-lipped about the whole thing. I'm just going by the reports, what I read, and they all ranked very highly.
Yeah, you mentioned Josh Allen being the projected number 1 overall pick now to the Cleveland Browns. It's funny, Before you came on the show, I had talked about how that makes too much sense. Josh Allen, I feel Josh Allen's highly overrated. He couldn't beat the big teams, and his stats against big teams were really, really bad last season. And the Browns, I mean, they're the Browns. So I feel like it was like a match made in heaven. Hugh Jackson had said that the Browns were sticking with Tyrod Taylor. He's their guy. Do you really think that they're sticking with Tyrod Taylor? Or do you think they might give Josh Allen a chance?
I believe that Tyrod Taylor is going to be the bridge quarterback for the next year, and they'll lean over to Josh Allen once I guess maybe next season more than likely, or it depends on how this season goes. If they're in full panic mode, I watched tape of him. Against the smaller schools and big schools like Iowa. He's got the arm, but the accuracy is an issue. Like I just don't see him being number 1 overall. It doesn't really make much sense. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you that it doesn't make much sense. But if they do go with Allen at number 1, I do think it's like I said, match made in heaven. It's like Allen's overrated and the Browns are crap, so it sort of just goes together some way, somehow. Can't really explain it. Right. But Scott Rogust is the New York Giants beat writer for WGSports.com. So we're going to stick with the Giants again.
Okay.
There were rumors over the past couple of weeks. The Giants are looking to trade Odell Beckham Jr. I am so against this. It's not even funny. What do you think about that?
this was just, John Mara. He, after the debacle last year with Eli, he's trying to, show his boss language, kind of, sort of, and just kind of backfired on him, saying, "Oh, nobody's safe." And of course, we think, "What about Beckham?" And nobody's untouchable. And with the reports every day the past month, we don't want to trade OBJ, but if we do, we'd like at least 2 first-round picks. It's crazy. I wouldn't trade him. Yes, he's got the issues off the field, the attitude issues, but the members of the team say he's a good locker room leader, and the offense without Beckham suffered. It did suffer, and he's coming off the fractured ankle. Maybe, I don't know if they're going to negotiate a new contract, but definitely try to keep him. I don't know if $20 million a year that's feasible, but try something to keep him.
Now, $20 million a year might seem a little much for a wide receiver, but the guy got to get paid. He's the team right now. And I don't care about off-field. I never care about off-field issues for any player. If you are going to make my team successful, give my team a chance to win championships, you belong on my team. And that's what OBJ does for the Giants.
Right.
And I had said this. And I had made a scenario. Let's say the Giants went ahead, they traded OBJ to whoever. The next guy in line, I said, would be Sterling Shepard, and I don't think he's ready to be that top guy yet.
He has a potential. He's a good receiver. It's just he's a slot receiver. You need a guy on the outside. Beckham could break away from the defenders, the defensive backs. Shepard is, like I said, he's a guy in the slot.
And I also said, but after Sterling Shepard would be Evan Ingram, their tight end, the first-round tight end from last year. And for any NFL team, if your top guy is a tight end, that's just also not a very good look.
We don't the Brandon Marshall thing, whether he's going to get released. We don't know that yet. I believe maybe in the mid rounds they'll go after a wide receiver, possibly. But yeah, without Beckham, that's just a drop off. You can tell. You really can.
Yeah, it would be definitely a big drop off for them. I guess I do have we'll ask a question right into the Redskins, because I have a feeling about the Redskins. They got rid of Kirk Cousins. He went to Minnesota, and they got Alex Smith. I don't know how you feel about this, but I do feel like it's not much a shame. Alex Smith was good in Kansas City, but he had Tyreek Hill. He had Kareem Hunt behind him.
Right.
He had these guys. Now in D.C., he doesn't have anybody. So I don't know if do you feel like Alex Smith was an upgrade from Kirk Cousins, or feel like me, where I feel like it's kind of the same?
I have the same feeling as you. I saw it when the trade happened. I'm like, he just showed what he had with the deep arm. It's just now he doesn't have the weapons like he did. He's got, like you said, Tyreek Hill. He's got the speed to go down the field. He had Travis Kelce. Now it's Paul Richardson, Josh Doxson, and Jordan Reed, who's had trouble staying on the field. It's just I don't think it's a great fit. It's not an upgrade. I don't know. It's just not. I don't see it really working out to the success he had on the Chiefs.
Yeah, no way. No, I really don't think so. Unless the Redskins get Christian Kirk or DJ Moore in Maryland, or most of one of those big receivers. No, I don't see Alex Smith putting the same numbers in DC. I don't know how many years he was signed, but no matter how many years he was signed, I don't see him have the same career in DC as he did in Kansas City.
Right.
Let's switch over to the Eagles now. The Eagles that are Super Bowl champions. Hooray for the Eagles. Of course, you and I don't care about the Eagles. We're Cowboys and Giants fans, respectively. But there's something very concerning about me with the Eagles, and that is Nick Foles won the MVP. He led them to the Super Bowl. And Carson Wentz, who went from a 3-0 starter in the league to they finished 9-7. He threw 9 touchdowns, 14 picks in that season. Do you think perhaps Nick Foles should start week 1 for the Eagles?
It all depends on Wentz's recovery from the knee injury. I mean, we had reports a couple weeks ago, maybe about a month ago, that his knee injury was worse than originally anticipated, and they were not sure if he'll be ready for week 1. It all depends on Wentz's knee. I mean, we saw how good Wentz was when he was playing this past season. He was phenomenal. He was an MVP candidate. But if you want to protect his knee and protect the long-term future with the Wentz, you gotta go with Foles.
I agree 100%. I love Foles threw 27 touchdowns and 2 picks in 2013 with the Eagles. He comes back and he leads them to a Super Bowl. This guy's not overrated. I don't know why we're calling him a backup, a veteran backup, whatever. He deserves a starting spot, whether it be in Philadelphia or elsewhere. Scott Rogust, New York Giants, beat writer for WGSports.com. Last question. Let's say the Giants don't go quarterback. Who would you like to see them draft number 2?
Personally, my choice. I know that they have their draft board that was supposedly reported. You know, it's supposedly Sam Darnold 1, Bradley Chubb out of NC State at 2, and then Saquon Barkley. We've known the same story every year with the Giants. The offensive line's not holding up. You go get the offensive lineman. You go get Quentin Nelson, 6'5", 329 pounds, 33 3/4 reach. You just got to go with the offensive lineman. You got to build that line up. And I've seen tape in the bowl game he had against the LSU. He like basically one-on chokeslammed the guy on the LSU defensive line. It's crazy. He's got the skill. You could pair him up. You pair him up with Nate Solder, new signee. Personally, that's just my opinion. You just got to go fix that problem that's been an issue the past 5 seasons since they last won the Super Bowl. Go get Quentin Nelson.
I like the idea for the Giants. The running game has always been a problem for them, and Eli Manning being sacked multiple times is also a problem, and that's all in part to the offensive line. So I can't argue with that pick at number 2 on Quentin Nelson, guard out of Notre Dame. I've heard a lot of praise from him on different shows, different networks. So we'll see you in a couple weeks. Scott Rogust, beat writer for the New York Giants for WGSports.com. Thanks for coming on, Scott.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate
Thanks,
it.
sir. Good stuff, Scott Rogust. Love having him on. He's been on before. He's an SCU Show veteran, you could say. Very good stuff from him. Can't wait to see what the Giants do in the draft in just a couple weeks down in Dallas, Texas at Jerry's World. But now we switch over to the NBA. So let's start with the Celtics because they have been so unfortunate with injuries this season, and a season where many before the season were calling them to challenge Cleveland, to beat Cleveland in the Eastern Conference Finals, perhaps, because of the team they had, especially with Kyrie Irving being there. And that was just like, whoa, here we go. Hype. There's so much hype with this team. And Gordon Hayward gets injured game 1. First game of the year, Gordon Hayward's done for the year already. Now Kyrie's out. So you can pretty much count the Celtics out. And with the Celtics out, that means the Cavs that's it. They're going to the finals, right? Yes, they are. They're going to the finals. But will they win is the question. We'll get to that in a little few minutes. I want to start with, we know the Cavs will not be in the Eastern Conference Finals. The question now is, who will they play? Toronto, the #1 seed? It's possible. Toronto's very talented. They had a win streak. I think they won 17 games in a row at one point this season. That's pretty good, you know. But honestly, I feel like the 76ers, and I'm not saying it's because I'm a 15 in a row. Not saying that because of that. But I feel like the 76ers will play the Cleveland Cavaliers in the Eastern Conference Finals. I feel like they'll be very competitive. It will go 6 games. And I feel the Cavs will come out in 6. It's going to be good, though. I mean, when you look at the whole process thing, they won 15 in a row, but Joel Embiid has not played the past few games with something happened to his eye. And he had to get eye surgery. Now he wears a mask, and he's not playing. And they're still winning 15 in a row. The process is working. And it will work all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals as well. It'll be very exciting to see them play Cleveland. But I think that the Cleveland Cavaliers will come out on top over the Sixers. I do think so. I mean, the 76ers, they're good. And they're just going to get better after next season. Because LeBron's going to LA, to the Lakers, and the West Conference, and all this other stuff. So the Lakers, the Sixers will have a better chance of winning the Eastern Conference. But they'll have to go through Boston, of course. And Miami's good. Toronto will continue to be good. But the Sixers' chance gets better with Cleveland out the way. Now we go to the West. And I know and I'm not the only one that did this. Not the only one that's done this all season long, but everybody's done it. We've overhyped the Golden State Warriors. And yes, it has to do with the injuries, but that's it. Everyone talks about Kevin Durant being this great guy. He's such a talented player. He's one of the best. He can't win without Stephen Curry. He couldn't win without Russell Westbrook. Do you see the pattern here? He is not a leader. I've been saying this since he left for Golden State. It was 2016 he left. Been saying it ever since. I don't like the move. I didn't like the move. And right now it's showing that it doesn't work. He went to be a follower. Without his leader, there's problems. If you're just gonna be a follower in life, you're gonna have. If you don't have a leader, you're gonna have problems. And that's what's happening right now with the Golden State Warriors and Stephen Curry being out. At least the first round of the playoffs, if they make it through. Knock on wood. If you're a Warriors fan. They do play the Spurs, and the Spurs are pretty good. Clearly. So, it's very possible that the Warriors... No, it's not very possible. It's happening. At this point, it's happening. The Golden State Warriors will be dethroned. They will not win the Western Conference this year for the first time since 2013-14. It's over. It's a wrap. Done. They will be dethroned by James Harden, Chris Paul, and the Houston Rockets. It's going to be, like I said for the other one, it's going to be a 6-game series. Rockets go up 2-0. They win both games, the first 2 games in Houston, and then the Warriors don't come back from that. They just don't come back from it. Rockets Cavs are your NBA Finals. Rockets win in 6. The Cavs don't win in Houston. I don't see it. So that would be 5 then. Correct me if I'm wrong. 5 or 6 games, the Rockets will beat the Cavs, and LeBron will play his final chapter in Los Angeles. And with that, the return of the SCU Show has come to an end for this week. I'm your host, SCU. I want to thank Scott Rogust for coming on to talk about the Giants, the Redskins, Eagles, and the draft. And I want to thank you for listening. I hope to see you next week here on the SCU Show.